Well, it's summer and the children are probably outside playing, maybe at the pool or down the shore, but summer comes with a downside for some. Educators say kids lose some of what they learned during the school year, and that can add up to problems in the school year and beyond. Joining me now with ideas on how to stop the so-called summer slide is Daryl Benjamin of the Huntington Learning Centers. Hey, D, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Good to meet you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
My
Now, Daryl
pleasure.
says children can lose up to 2 months of skills, and that can accumulate over the years. Break that down for us.
Well, if you think about it, let's draw an analogy. It's a lot like working out. If you're in shape, you're working out, and you stop working out for 2 weeks, you fall behind. It's really hard to get back into it. It's a lot like that at school. Students fall behind. It's really hard for them to get back into the swing of things. Teachers spend a lot of time helping kids get back to where they were before school let out.
Let's start with reading. How can parents and caregivers and folks take care of their children and put a stop to this?
Okay, so the first thing is got to practice their reading. Find grade appropriate material for your children to read, and that's available on your school websites and at libraries. They will have lists of books for them to read. Secondly, have your children read out aloud. You want to hear their reading accuracy and their reading fluency. If they make a reading error, have them correct the word. Don't tell them the mistake, have them find that mistake and hear the mistake that they made.
Would you recommend picking up a newspaper and just reading that out loud?
Absolutely, all reading is good reading. The key is to have your home become a reading-friendly environment. Lead by example. Have newspapers, books, and magazines freely accessible to your children.
Give us some other ideas when it comes to keeping the mind active and things that we can do, our children can do during the summer.
So one of the things we see a lot in our centers are students who are not very current with their math skills. So one of the things that I like to do is I recommend that parents get some dice for their children.
Some dice?
Dice,
really?
Exactly, playing dice. So what you do is, let's say you have two children, you have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. You throw the dice. You have the 4-year-old call out the numbers. You have the 7-year-old do the operation. So the parent says, there's the operation. So you roll a 4 and a 6. The parent says add. The older child says 10. The first child tells you what the numbers are.
Would you recommend like board games that use dice, or you just want the dice separately and do something?
All great, but one of the things with math, the best thing with math is repetitive drill, so that the children can become very familiar with their basic math facts.
Would you call math a forgotten subject? Because I know it gave me trouble back in the day.
Well, math's certainly not forgotten, and it's becoming more and more important as our world evolves from a technological basis. Unfortunately, many kids struggle in math, and the struggles they have is because they don't always have a solid foundational skill level.
Wow, you're taking me back now. You're taking me back. And there's always, of course, where you work, the Huntington Learning Centers. Tell us what you're all about.
So we're an accredited supplemental education center. What we do is we work with students from K through 12, and we're all about finding out where their skill gaps may exist. So if you mention yourself where maybe you struggled with math, you probably have a reasonably good math brain, but perhaps some of your fundamental math properties or math skills weren't in great shape. What we can do is go back and identify those specific skills.
Really?
Absolutely.
You know what? I remember the SATs, man. Woo!
Well, SATs are going to be becoming a little bit harder for some, because now in certain sections of the SAT, with the new SAT, no calculators anymore.
Thank you for what you do for our future. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Continued success to you. For
Thank
more
you very much
on
for having us.
stopping the summer slide and the Huntington Learning Centers, just go to cbsphilly.com and click on Talk Philly.